Welcome to No One Unscripted Delta. I look a little wacky. I'm a little wacky. Thank you for being here today. And today we're going to talk about 9/11 and January 6th briefly. These Greek alphabet, No One Unscripted episodes, I want to keep as short as possible. Uh, there's a lot of debate online, offline, uh, I'm sure, about comparing and contrasting 9/11 with January 6th. And I briefly wanted to let everybody know that it's a little disrespectful to both incidents simply because the only thing common about them is that they were both terrorist attacks. Uh, September 11th was a terrorist attack on our physical infrastructure and on actual people, human beings, Americans. And in that regard, it was an assault on America. And January 6th was an assault on our government, our seat of government, our legislative branch, and also on our Constitution. They're not comparable. They're, if anything close, and the only thing you can say about them being comparable is that they're two sides of the enemy coin. You know, uh, foreign and domestic, enemies, foreign and domestic. So, yeah, my dogs are going to be sleeping around here, so you might be able to see them. A little while ago, this little munchkin was snoring his butt off. So, yeah, there he is. And then there's this one, as you can see. Ugh. Where is it? Oh, there she is. Oh, look at that. You can see them both over there. Anyway, so let's not compare them. Yeah, let's not compare September 11th with January 6th. Let's not try to uh, compare it in terms of dollars because it's just simply not. It's not. A, it's not a comparable uh, thing. You don't expect your somebody who lives at your house to one day just come in and start breaking everything inside the house. Although that's happened to me before, and one of my closest friends, my best friend, was there at the end of it, so he saw it happening and saw the end result of it. So you don't that's not nearly as common and not nearly as expected as somebody coming from outside and trying to break into my house, which is what September 11th was. And January 6th was somebody who lives with me destroying my house and shitting on my couch. So, I mean, there are two very different kinds of attacks on the United States, and they have to be considered as such. I'll just leave it at that, and you should consider it on your own and see what you think about that. Because, we need active citizenry in the United States. If I can sit here from across continents and oceans and I can keep at it, albeit a little, sparse in the recent months, I think that somebody who lives in the homeland, somebody who is always around, can completely get themselves engaged. And you have to be engaged at this point because the country is at a really, really sensitive place. So, you know, looking at it completely apolitically and looking at it from perspective of country, it's important that you know the laws. It's important that you see facts for what they are. And it's important that you soak in the facts from as many perspectives as you can. And and then make the decision up for yourself, because we can't afford to get it wrong again. We can't afford to have a situation where someone like Trump, but savvier and sweeter on the outside, to get to the White House. Because the way that the current GOP, the Republican Party, is operating, they are obstructing legislative and electoral and voting processes. And they have taken rebellion to a nuance, and they have mastered it. So, the way that they're doing it is by hypocrisy and lies and bending all of the procedural rules and governmental norms that are not really written in the books. They're just making a mockery of all of that. And the Democratic Party, which for so long has been so beholden to these laws and social norms and mores, that somebody like Al Sharpton, I think that was his name. No, it was the senator who resigned, and then there was the congresswoman who resigned, and then there was the Congressman Weiner who had problems. They just resigned, right? Because that's the proper social norm to do, to not muck up the governmental apparatus, the political system and environment with the scandal of sex and impropriety. But and at that time, the GOP and the Republican Party, they were the moral authority, and then they militarized that moral authority, turned it upside its head, and turned complete hypocrites. And every time I think about the GOP now, I think about that that woman in Revelations that gave birth to the beast. It's abhorrent, and they keep doing it. And they're not doing it for the purpose of governance. They're doing it at the beck and call of their major donors, who are fossil fuel oligarchs, who are big, big, big billionaire money foundations. That Coke is the whale, but there are many, many sharks. And the ones that I know are like Rebecca Mercer and Van Andel and DeVos's, and then you saw a few others sort of creep up and then scutter away like cockroaches. Like we had Betsy DeVos, Elaine Chao, we had Clarence Thomas's wife, we had Alex Azar. You notice how Alex Azar and Elaine Chao and Betsy DeVos just like resigned as quickly as it possibly could right after January 6th. It's not because they were appalled by what happened. It's because they were the handlers who were all around, including Mike Pence, by the way. That is my claim. Like Mike Pence is aware of everything that is happening, because he is a veteran of white supremacist oligarchy. He is he's a veteran handler. So Donald was surrounded by these people. And then the minute that January 6th happened, they scuttered. Where are they now? Where are they? How are they? I mean, I hope they're riddled with lawsuits. So, we have to follow the money. We have to know the facts. We have to look at all of the dots, and we have to start connecting them. And we have to become active citizens and engaged citizens. And we have to stop fearing our government, and we have to start helping our government in whatever capacity that we can to ensure that every single violation of our Constitution and of the rule of law be addressed and criminals be held accountable. That's what we need to focus on, and I do it by being on Twitter. I do it by making these videos. I do it by constantly writing and painting and posting with the idea of unity in mind, with the idea of progress in mind, and with the idea of shedding light. And I think that we can all get together and we can all do that. And we can all address, and if we have darknesses within us, which I sure as hell do, we need to address them also, we have to address the hate that's within us, and we have to let go of it. We have to learn forgiveness. Desmond Tutu said, and I'm paraphrasing, that, you don't have to forgive and forget. You can forget. You need to forgive and remember and choose not to act and retaliate. That is what the meaning of forgiveness is. And what I have learned is that forgiveness begins with forgiving yourself. And I've explained that in my previous episodes, in how I interpret the Lord's Prayer, forgive my sins as I forgive those who sin against us. So it's it's not, so they go hand in hand. And I feel that we need to do that. We need to purge the negativity. We need to let go of the sensationalism, of the glitz and the glamour, just for a while. I mean, we can go on all these crazy ass diets, and we can start all these fads and different music and clothing and like unlearning whatever that is, and squabble about some critical race theory when there's really nothing theoretical about racism in America. So we can do all of that, or we can just focus, and we can solve the real problems right now is finding these seditionists who are actively trying to destroy American democracy. And we can only do that if we can focus and concertedly look at seditionist behavior online. We can track and track them online, track them in real life, connected to the FBI whenever you find any matches in the community to pictures that you find on the FBI website or on their Twitter pages, or through Scott McFarlane, who has been following every single case, to start looking at every news source. It's okay that you go to, if you're watching this now and you go to Newsmax and Fox, thanks. So, but I mean, if you do, then go check out Associated Press and NPR for a day. Check out PBS. Check out. There are so many other news sources than CNN that you clearly don't like for whatever reason. I don't know, but I mean, they're sensationalists. So is Fox News, and so is Newsmax. So I mean, you have to distill it for yourself. You don't go to Lake Michigan and drink the water. You drink it from the tap because it's been treated by the water treatment center in the middle of the lake. And that's just how society works. So, I mean, I think, okay, I'm going to leave it at that because I think I'm losing my train of thought on this whole unscripted thing. While my dogs lick each other behind me is getting a bit overwhelming. So yeah, think about this and don't compare September 11th with January 6th, please. The only thing that's the same about them is that they're both terrorist attacks. And the only thing you can say is comparable about them is that they're two sides of the enemy coin, you know, foreign enemies and domestic enemies. Other than that, everything is different. It's a mirror image, you know. It's just and it's that's gonna fuck with your head for a while. So I'll leave you with that. Thank you. Bye.